Hi, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with a year-end weekly wisdom, almost year-end, and the stars and cards for all zodiac signs for December 19th through the 25th. I will timestamp this so that you can go and pick from what you want. We have a big week right before the end of the year, so I probably will have to do another video before the end of the year. And I want that to be for like the 2023 preview. God, it feels like a while, right? All right, what do we have this week? The big things happening. Jupiter just moved into Aries. That's huge. Brand new energy, fire energy. It just left Pisces. And what's kind of sad in a way, and I've talked about this before, is that Jupiter was in Pisces with Neptune in Pisces. We haven't seen it since the American Civil War in the 1800s. We will not see it again in our lifetime. And it's a very spiritual, psychic, very emotional time. But very in tune with something else. Aries is about action. So with Jupiter expanding things, making things bigger, I expect that really good things will be happening. You could take a look in your own life at what Jupiter in Aries is doing. You just have to look back 12 years ago, 12 years ago, 12 years ago, and think about what your life was like, because it will mirror what happened 12 years ago, but it'll be like a level up of that mirror. So some really fantastic things were happening in my life during that. So I'm hoping for something similar. Capricorn season, the sun will be moving into Capricorn. We have solstice, we have Yule. This is Northern Hemisphere, winter solstice and Yule. In the Southern Hemisphere, they're coming into their summer. And so, but I'm going to focus on here in the winter because I'm freezing. It's almost Christmas. We have a new moon in Capricorn also coming. This says step up and lead. So happy birthday, Capricorns. I know that it's right on the cusp as I'm recording this. So it's Sagicorn season, and I have a few friends that are Sagicorns. So happy birthday to you. You know who you are. But yeah, it's interesting because Capricorn is, you know, very solid, steady, career-oriented, goal-oriented. This says step up and lead. What it made me think of, because I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. You know, I'm so over the overachieving, the dominance, but maybe this is like step up and take your own lead. Stop being a follower, like stop listening to someone else's lead is kind of like the message that I got for that. The birthstone for Capricorn, which you'll see in a moment, because I have my slides with the charts and some juicy bits for Capricorn season. It's garnet, and I don't have any pieces. I mean, I have them. I didn't feel like looking for them. I have red garnet and green garnet. They're so beautiful. What I love about the garnet is here in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, winter is beginning. That's what solstice is. It'll be the first day of winter. And I love that garnet was chosen as the Capricorn birthstone because garnet warms us up. It keeps our fires going. It creates passion. So keeps us creative as well. And you'll see prosperous, which is another Capricorn trait typically. And then I chose an animal totem card for the beginning of solstice, for the beginning of this season that's taking us into the new year. And I love it. Buffalo Spirit came out. It is card number 10, which speaks about loving the self, you know, having love for the self and putting up those boundaries. But this talks about abundance. The buffalo is an extremely auspicious totem in Native American history. This says, the abundant universe will provide. It's interesting because it's coming in at a time of winter when we have the most scarcity. Everything in nature, well, just about everything, has died. The leaves have fallen. Animals are slower. They're hibernating. They're conserving their energy. So feed those birds, feed those little animals. I feed my critters every day, actually twice a day. And it's crazy because the days are so short that I feed them first thing in the morning, and then I feed them at lunchtime because the sun sets not too long after I usually take my lunch. The solstice and Yule mark the longest nights. And what's interesting is it's typically 3 nights that are the longest when you look at the sunrise and sunset times. And then after that, I think after the 22nd or the 23rd, the sun will set 1 minute later every single day, going up to the summer solstice, June 21st. Well, what I noticed when I was looking at the times is that even though the sun is setting 1 minute later, the sun is rising 1 minute later, and it's not until mid-January, almost Aquarius season, when we actually start to see the shift, where the sun is rising up 1 minute earlier, and then the sun is setting later until we have summer. And I always mark the beginning of spring for me personally for February 1st. I live on the East Coast of the United States, so we start to see spring around that time, and that is on the wheel of the year. I believe that is Litha. I don't know. I have my my wheel of the year a little mixed up. I have to confirm that. All right, so Litha is summer solstice, duh. It is Austera. How did I, oh no, not Austera. Imbolc is February 1st. And that's also known as Candlemas. And that's celebrated February 1st and 2nd as the first signs of spring. And then we have Austera, which is the spring equinox. Anyway, I just have to get through January, and we are going to have one of the coldest Christmases since 1989 here on the East Coast. It's been mild. It's going to be 60 degrees for the next couple of days, and then bad storms coming in from the west. So thanks, guys. Dropping our temperatures within like hours from 60 degrees to 0, and everything's going to freeze. So it'll be pouring rain, and then it's going to be a hard freeze. Luckily, I don't have to go anywhere, right? All right, let me move into my slideshow. And get that party started so that I could get to your cards. All right. Okay. I hope you could see this. This is my screen for Capricorn season. Woohoo! And like I said, I will be back with a 2023 preview with card reading as well. All right, I posted this. I had set this up and scheduled this to post on Facebook and Instagram before I went on vacation, just so that you could get the highlights. You could see that on Facebook and Instagram. I'll probably put it in one of my blogs at expressionsoftheuniverse.com. So this gives you the times for Eastern Standard Time of the solstice of Yule. I spelled Yule incorrectly. Great. I'm just noticing that now. Mercury will be turning retrograde in Capricorn the new year. Venus entering Aquarius, Mars going direct, Mercury going direct, all in Capricorn season. So it's a pretty big month. The next 2 weeks do look a little difficult. I will not sugarcoat that, especially with Jupiter moving into Aries. Now, it's not on here because Jupiter moved into Aries in Sagittarius season. We're talking about the Capricorn highlights right now. And look how gorgeous that garnet is. Radiating with warmth and the color of rich blood, garnet is also a glorious stone for helping flush out body toxins and keep circulation strong. It's a stone that wants to keep your blood flowing, your heart beating, and your metabolism working to the best of its ability. Garnet is a high quality, uplifting stone with its rich colors and warming glow. You cannot help but feel supported and nurtured by its deep healing properties. It's such a great grounding stone as well, which is nice during this cold winter season. Because I practice medical astrology, I want to point out some Capricorn health that we want to be on the lookout for, and pointing out to you that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So that's where, Capricorn and Saturn together make up these possible health issues. Capricorns are placements in Capricorn, or where Saturn resides in our own charts, shows where chronic illness could show up, related to hardening and restriction. Capricorn rules the skeletal system, joints, knees, skin, bones, and teeth, also known to affect the gallbladder. Hardening, stiffness can occur. So think about, arthritis, stiff joints, calcifications. That's usually Capricorn and Saturn related. Also, there's been just such a mass abundance in the people that I know that have had gallbladder issues, have had to have them removed. Not only is it from our diets, but, from the fatty diets that people eat in this time. It clogs up the gallbladder. And then, I wouldn't be surprised if those who have had gallbladder issues have a very strong Capricorn placement, or possibly Saturn in Virgo, or even Capricorn. And then the gallbladder hardens up and has to come out. Capricorns are also known for having a hard time absorbing vitamins. And so I have a lot of clients actually that are Capricorns or have, Capricorn placements that do have vitamin deficiencies, and it's not because they don't take them. It's just, it's part of that cycle. So they have to have special care. Also, too, if you're born with these aspects, you may be totally fine. And then it isn't until Saturn comes around and activates that, or another planet is transiting something in your chart and it turns it on, usually in older age. Capricorns or Saturn placements are known for coldness, feeling cold. There's a lack of blood flow. That's why that garnet is so wonderful. And also, too, Capricorns are predispositioned to depression, as are Aquarius and Pisces, because of being born in the winter months. And, you know, the sun, the vital force is very low energy, especially if you were born at night. So, you know, some of your planets are below the horizon in your chart, you would be predispositioned to depression. I'll have to show you my chart because I was born at night. Most of my chart is below the horizon, and I have Saturn in Pisces. So I have a classic chart for chronic depression. And I'll share that with you sometime in the future. All right, so we're coming into the equinox. It is on December 21st. And oddly enough, it's at 4:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Most equinoxes, and I mean, I'm sorry, we're coming into the winter solstice, but most solstices and equinoxes are usually very early in the morning when the sun is rising. This is one of the first times in a while, and not to happen again for quite a while, that it's happening at sunrise or after sunrise. So I found that to be interesting. And you could, I just wanted to put this up here so that you could see in the northern hemisphere anyway, the relation of the sun to the planet Earth. And so we would be over here on the December solstice. We're not getting a whole lot of sunlight, and vice versa. In the summertime, we're getting all the sunlight. And then on the equinoxes, it's equal day and equal night, pretty much until we get closer to the solstices. Then we can really feel the difference. All right, so I have the chart here for the solstice. And I just want to zoom in a little bit. We're going to pull it. So the solstice is really, it is when the sun moves into Capricorn, 000. The moon will be in Sagittarius. We have this beautiful stellium in Capricorn, Venus, Mercury, Pluto. And I want to point out that Pluto, and I didn't put this in the highlights, Pluto is going to have its third direct conjunction with the United States Pluto. So we can really start to expect some disruptions right before the new year. Although Pluto moves so slow, we could be feeling that already. Wish I could get this. How can I get this so that it's not too big, not too small? What I'm finding interesting in this chart is, and I'm probably driving you crazy. So see this green line? That is called an inconjunction. Actually, we have a yod. Well, it's with the IC. So, and I'm sure there are, I believe the asteroid Ceres is right in this area. But we have an inconjunction or disagreement, known as the Great Eliminator. between the South Node in Scorpio and Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, about the self. So this solstice could really be triggering some things within ourself, our self-esteem, our self-worth, how we see ourselves, wounds of how we feel about ourselves. But in a way, it's great that it's in conjuncting or quincunxing South Node, because that's something that needs to be eliminated. Uranus and the North Node are directly trining these aspects, or they will be. So that's going to shake some things up, make Capricorn season a little exciting, maybe unwantedly. I will point out that Neptune is also, it's in opposition to the United States Neptune, which was an aspect from the Civil War. The Pluto conjunction is from the American Revolution. And we can see here Jupiter at 0 degrees, 7 minutes of Aries. So brand new and fresh. It will transit through Aries up until May, where we'll get a preview of Jupiter going into Taurus. I have to take a look at the dates on that. But we can always track Taurus to see how it's going to show up for us just by going back 12 years and then going back 24 years, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, that will give us the flavor of how it's going to show up, but it'll be like a level up. So the solstice is occurring here on the East Coast in the 7th house of our relationships, all of our relationships to everything. With this Capricorn energy, we're taking a look at all of our relationships and how, you know, what can we eliminate? What is of value? I believe that's what I see in the new moon chart. But one of the wonderful things about the solstice that a lot of people forget, we're rushing around, it's the holiday season, and the solstice and Yule really wants us to slow down. I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment. It's a time to slow down and to take a reflective look on the year that we've had and think about what it is that we want in the coming year. What can we eliminate? What do we want to bring in? It's really a 3-day period of silence and light. It is the calling back of the light here in the Northern Hemisphere. So, you know, light your bonfires, at least light a candle in your home. Burn that candle, bring in that light. What I do at solstice, so I have twinkle lights all over the house. And I have them up most of the year because I just like them. But I will leave the twinkle lights on. Well, I always have them on in my kitchen. And I've been leaving the living room windows on 24/7. But I'll even leave the Christmas tree on, my little dinky tree that I didn't really feel like decorating, but I will leave it on because it's about bringing the light back in, honoring the return of the light. And that's how I do it. Of course, I will light some Reiki candles. I won't leave them on all night. And that's a really good point to point out, because the Mars aspects that we're seeing, and I'll show it to you when I go back into the slideshow, I'll show it to you. The Mars aspects that I am seeing with Jupiter now moving into Aries, it's making a sextile, I believe, to Mars in Gemini. And although that's kind of harmonious, Mars is retrograde, Jupiter is full of steam, and there, you know, like that's fire energy. So do not leave any candles or fires unattended. Be really cautious and be very careful electrical wise, and and with any kind of flame, because there's a big indication in the stars of fire unexpectedly happening, because Mars and Jupiter, who is sandwiched in between? It's Uranus. Expect the unexpected. Let me share my screen again. Where are we? So see, here's Mars in Gemini retrograde. Sandwiched in between is Uranus, and also Chiron, the wounded healer, and Jupiter. So these could cause a problem and an issue. Just pointing that out. Now let's go to the new moon slide. New moon in Capricorn, the sea goat. Love it. And here's our new moon in Capricorn. And I'm gonna blow that up. Gonna blow it up. Gonna make a mess of it. So here we have new moon in Capricorn. So new moons are when the sun and the moon are both in the same sign at the same degree. It's 1 degree, 32 minutes. Conjunct Venus, Mercury, and Pluto. Mercury is in its shadow, not retrograde yet, but getting ready. Here on the East Coast, it's in the second house of values, of money. What is important? It's our own self-worth. What brings us self-worth? For Capricorns, it's typically, our goals and achievements and money. So right before the Christmas holiday, we're going to be thinking about what did we spend our money on? But, we're still in that energy of the solstice. So we're going within, darn, sorry, making a mess of this. We're going within and we are finding what brings true meaning, what brings true joy. Are we associating ourselves with what we have or what we get? There's so much more to life than all of that. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And let's see, was there anything else that I wanted to point out? The only thing, once again, is this stellium is trining North Node Uranus. Also, too, is that Capricorn and Gemini are always in conjunct. They are always quincunx each other. So they're always in disagreement. Same as Gemini with Scorpio. So they're always in disagreement. There's always a tension there. And, Mars is retrograde. So we're not feeling all of that energy. But you just wait, because January 12th, when Mars goes direct, any planets that are in Capricorn are going to feel it. Also, you'll feel it in Gemini. What is really important about this Capricorn season, I wanted to point out too, is Capricorn is a cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are about beginnings. And I love the fact that this sun and moon are at 1 degree, which is a new beginning. We have 5 moons at that 1 degree. Our full moons have been at 16 degrees, which is basically a world point degree. But 5 months back to back of this 1 degree, brand new energy, but now it is in a cardinal sign. So it is a perfect time for new beginnings. And I guess that's also why they changed the calendar to make January the new year. It used to be in Aries, which is the first cardinal sign. I still celebrate that, but you know, that's neither here nor there. All right. What else did I want to talk about? Some of my notes that I have written down. So the fluctuating energies that were happening at the beginning of December are still continuing. Everything will sort itself out by Christmas Eve. But I really feel like this could be a volatile time going into Christmas Eve and the New Year. The holiday period should be filled with joy and laughter, sparkle. We have to find, we have to find the joy and the sparkle. And that's all I have been doing. And it has nothing to do with presents or anything. I've just been really basking in gratitude and looking for ways to find some happiness. It's really difficult this time of year for a lot of people, especially anybody that has lost someone or, you know, has had a loss. It's really difficult. And so I urge you, if you are going through that, either seek help, talk to somebody, but every day try to find something to smile about. You know, watch comedies, look for the gratitude, think of things to be grateful for. You have to do it. I've trained myself so well for a couple of decades to live that way that, yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean that I've got rainbows coming out my ass 24/7. I get sad, I cry, I go through all of that. I'm going through that, but I still look for the gratitude and the joy every day, especially so when I'm going through that. And it's hard. It is hard. Don't let anybody tell you it isn't. But now I need to go into my hermit mode and just be kind of left alone. What else? So, and now also be kind. Be kind. Kindness. Kindness. It's all about kindness, being kind to people. You know, no honking, be patient. All right. So nerves could be on edge on Tuesday, December 20th, due to a demand in pre-vacation work schedule. There's a lunar T-square with Saturn and Uranus. So there could be a lot of work demands on people. And you just want to get done so that you can do your holiday things. That's one of the reasons why I took off for 11 days. Luckily, Jupiter has entered Aries and it's bringing a massive energy boost. Even though there are a lot of tasks on everyone's plate, the overall mood will be jolly and upbeat thanks to the moon sending harmonious vibes to dreamy Neptune and Mercury. Wednesday, the 21st, will be slightly more stressful with the sun squaring Jupiter, along with the moon opposite Mars retrograde. People will be feeling overwhelmed with things to do, yet have little energy to get anything done. That's kind of really how I've been feeling for a couple of weeks. That's why this is so late. Thursday is an excellent night for dating and romance, because Venus is sending auspicious vibes up to Uranus. So expect to be unexpectedly swept off your feet. One could wish, one could hope, at least for a single person. Pay attention to people that you meet, though, because there could be also auspicious people coming into your life. Let's see, what else? With the moon, I'm just paring this down. Friday's Capricorn new moon is squaring bit off more than we could chew Jupiter. Like Jupiter is gunning, you know, like have you ever burnt rubber in your car when you have your foot on the brake and your foot on the gas and the wheels are spinning and smoking and burning rubber right before you release it? That's kind of like the energy of Jupiter in Aries right now. So this new moon is going to be squaring. There's going to be tension. The new moon, still in solstice and Yule energy, wants to slow down, wants to get things in order, wants to go within and appreciate this period of time. And Mars is gunning, is really gunning to go. So we could feel that we may need to tie up loose ends at work, buy last minute gifts, shop for Christmas, dinner. Can you get it all done? Probably, but even if you can't, relax. The season is about festive, good cheer, not showing everyone how perfect you are. Oh gosh, feelings of love, high spirit, good communication, personal empowerment abound on Christmas Eve. Get in touch with friends and family who have fallen off your radar. No thanks. I really just want to be a hermit. They will be delighted to get back in touch. I know, but I really just want my time alone. The moon is sending out an almost unheard of array of harmonious vibes, including auspicious aspects to Uranus, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, and Neptune. Chatty Mercury will also be boosted by a good-natured sextile to Neptune, bringing peace and joy to all human contact. Christmas Day is equally upbeat thanks to a sentimental moon being energized by dynamic Mars and Jupiter. There are absolutely no disharmonious aspects on the 24th and 25th, so enjoy the holidays in unhindered good spirits. Now, let's do the cards for all zodiac signs. I already shuffled these, but I want to do it again. Feel like, let me clear that energy one more time. Okay, I'm going to read all of these upright, just because I think it's beautiful to be benefic. No negative energy, right? All good vibes. So I'm going to start with Aries. You want to pay attention to your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, any stelliums you have. Go back, take a look and see where these aspects are in the charts that I posted. Where do they show up in your charts? There's a lot of energy going on. So I don't think any of us get out of the energy unscathed. The next couple of months are going to be really fast and furious with a lot of shifts in energy. All right, Aries, you have building blocks. I love that. So this is about building a brand new foundation, starting something new, starting something from scratch. And it's card number 28. So this talks about not only your emotions, your creativity, like following your heart, doing what your heart sings to. And I think this is also about starting over. And that would be indicative of Jupiter moving into Aries. But I think this is new projects starting, getting everything, like, see how these are all stacked up, getting organized, getting everything put in a row, put in order, getting ready to start. This is going to be a great time for you. Taurus, all that glitters is not gold. So Taurus, this energy of the Capricorn season, the sun moving into Capricorn, the Capricorn new moon, the solstice and Yule is trining whatever you have in Taurus. I can attest to that because I am a Taurus rising. When all that glitters shows up, this is saying, stick with the tried and the true. Don't go off following that glittery, shiny thing because it will fizzle out. Just stick with what you know and watch that grow. It is card 16. This talks about the self and your relationship to material abundance or the lack thereof. Yeah, I think I'll just leave that at that. Gemini, you have flexible. Interesting, because Gemini is a mutable sign and, you know, typically very flexible, but with Mars retrograde in your sign, you may be a little stodgy, a little stiff, not wanting to bend and trying to make a point. And so card 19 talks about how do we love and care for ourselves, nurture ourselves, take care of ourselves. This is about putting a little bit more focus on the self versus everyone else, and maybe setting up some healthy boundaries, but being flexible during this time because you could be overwhelmed, Geminis. Cancer. Oh, I love it. It's the blessed card. It is card number 22, which is a master number, which talks about right timing, right place, right time, the right people coming together, the Cancer suns, risings, and moons. Something really magical is going to happen for you during this beautiful holiday season. And this is also telling me to remind the Cancers to count your blessings. There is definitely a blessing, something to be grateful for. You're going to have to look for it and remind yourself if you are not finding it. Leos, you have yang energy, and that is fire, action, creativity energy. So Leos, that Jupiter in Aries is trining whatever you have in Leo, and I have a Leo moon, and this is saying it's go time, go, go, go. It's time for you to create. It is time for you to move. It is time for you to start a new exercise regimen, start a new project. It is all about movement, no more stagnation. I need to have a little bit of hermit before I will take on this yang energy. It is card number 1. It is all about you, yourself, and doing for the self. Love that. All right, Leo. What comes after Leo? Virgo, the little virgins. So Virgos, similar to the Taurus energy, this Capricorn season will be trining whatever you have in Capricorn, and you have the here and now card. It is card number 32. So this talks about partnerships, right people, how you're feeling about them, and making some changes maybe with the people that you have in your life, who you're partnering up with. This is also about a divine timing type of thing. But the here and now talks about being uber present, having to maybe just take some little breaks so that you can breathe and relax, go hermit in the closet for a little bit and get away from all of the chaos. And this is also talking about, with the here and now, the past and the future. Stop thinking about the past, stop thinking too far ahead into the future, and just focus on what is happening right in this moment, right in this moment, right in this moment, right in this moment. You get what I'm saying? I have a stellium in Virgo, so I've been all over the place. So I'm going to take this advice for sure. Libra, you have a leg up, and the leg up says help is on the way, assistance is coming. It is card number 34. This talks about partnerships, right timing, right people, being in the right place. Who are your friends? It asks that question. So, you know, are your friends always counting on you? Can you count on them? But this usually talks about assistance is coming, like, and you'll say, oh, wow, I never really even expected to get any help from that person. Like, the people that you were counting on may have let you down, and people that you would never expect will come through or show up in some sort of a way. That's what I feel this week for the Libras. Scorpio. Scorpio, there's no place like home. This is card number 50, and this says some changes are coming or changes are needed. It could be in relation to the home, something with the family. This is talking about boundaries, setting healthy boundaries with your family in home relationship situations. The no place like home says you can't run away from certain situations, certain people, because you're going to find that, just like Dorothy did, that there was no place like home. She was, everything that she was looking for, she already had within her. And the home doesn't even necessarily have to be a physical place. It's a place within here. And that's what you have to find. Sagittarians, you have time to go. And so Sagittarians, yes, Sagittarius season is ending and it's time to go. But this is saying time is up. You either have to take care of some things, you have to leave something behind, venture on to a new chapter. This is card number 45. So there are changes coming, but it talks about creativity. It also talks about being in the right circles, being in the right place, the right people. You may be having to change some things that you thought were going to work out so that you can go be on the right path. Just know that one chapter is ending and another chapter is beginning. Capricorns, happy birthday, Capricorns, Capricorn season. Oh my goodness. Fork in the road, Capricorns. This is about making decisions. Wow. About making a choice. Which way, which direction are you going to go? Now, this may take you all month to figure that out. It is card number 13, which to me is pretty auspicious. That talks about the self versus the other, paying attention to the signs. Your spirit guides, ascended masters, and angels are going to be sending you the signs, so pay attention. They're going to guide you in which direction to go. I kind of really love this fork in the road card, but you're at the precipice of something ending, something beginning, and you're not sure which direction to go in. So have at it. If you have to, exercise absolute patience. Do not, well, you know what? My guides are saying it doesn't even matter, because if you take the wrong fork, you will wind up where you're supposed to be. It just may take a little bit longer. And that's for all of us. There's no right, there's no wrong. All roads lead to the same place. It just depends on how long it's going to take to get there. Aquarius. Aquarius, you have, oh, poor Aquarius. You have chaos and conflict. It's number 33, card 33, which is ascended masters and angels. So help is around you. But this holiday season could be a little cray-cray for the Aquarians. It's interesting because this looks like a zebra, but it's colored and striped like a giraffe. And so it's like, I don't know which end is up. Is this a zebra? Is this a giraffe? I don't know. But this is just saying that things could be a little crazy. I think it could be family oriented and related, drama, or, you know, be very flexible. And as I'm saying that to the Aquarians that are fixed, another fixed sign, things may not go as planned, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just bask in the joy of this season. Take a lot of deep breaths and realize that most of everything is not even important. And last but not least, Pisces, round and round. So Pisces, you know, we're finishing up this year. What do you keep repeating? What do you keep going around and around and around? Is it an emotion? Is it a thought? Is it a group of people, relationship? You just keep going round and around. Just know that it's going to remain the same. The round and round reminds you it's time to get off of the merry-go-round because things are not going to change. There needs to be a shift in perception. There needs to be some sort of a change in a relationship, a belief. Take this time, go within, figure out what this round and round is, because it's not going anywhere for the Pisces. This is card 25. So this is really talking about the emotions that need to change, an emotion surrounding maybe the season, maybe some people, or a certain situation, and use divine intervention to connect, ask for help, ask the angels to help you to figure it out, work it out, and get off the merry-go-round. So that's all I have for you for this week. I wish you all a happy Hanukkah. I'll be celebrating Hanukkah this week with my son-in-law, my daughter. Merry Christmas, Happy Yule. We'll be celebrating Yule and Hanukkah, that we're doing that together. Yule's my holiday. Happy Kwanzaa as well. I will be back, hopefully, with the year-end wrap-up and a preview of 2023, cards and stars for all zodiac signs. I normally do an overall reading for the year, like one tarot card for each month to represent like what we can expect. Don't forget, depending on how I'm coming back or when I'm coming back, Mercury will be going retrograde on December 29th. We don't have to get upset about Mercury retrograde. It's all, pretty much anything in life, it's all of what you make it. There is no bad, there's no bad, no good, no right, no wrong. It's all in our perception. I take Mercury retrograde as a time to relax, to be the hermit. You have to be so super patient. You have to allow extra time for traveling, allow extra time for standing in lines. Know that things could go wrong. And if you know that in advance, then you won't get upset. You know, bring some earbuds so that you can listen to music if you're waiting in line, and you can tune out all the chaos going around you. Just like, be prepared. Give yourself extra time. Don't be rushing around. And yes, stay safe, stay warm. There is a coast to coast storm coming. And I think nobody in the United States gets out of that winter blast. So happy holidays. I'll see you soon. Bye.